Hello boxing fans, right now I'm just about to talk about Andre Ward versus Bad Chad Dawson. This fight was ended in a TKO in the 10th round. Well, to be real, honestly, Ballerina Chad quit. The first two rounds were competitive rounds. I gave them both to Dawson because he was catching Ward, but then in the rounds 3 and 4, Dawson could not take the power of Andre Ward, which, by the way, is something I have never thought I would say in my life, and then continued for the next 6 rounds to beat Dawson like a junior stepchild. So, after the fight, I've seen loads of people riding Andre Ward's dick, and what have I got to say? Well, it was a very good win, and there's definitely a lot of talent in Andre Ward. He's very slick. He can fight inside at a very good level. You know, it'll be a great fight to see how Andre Ward would fight with someone like Floyd Mayweather if there was no weight limits, you know, in the fight and they were both the same size. It would be a great matchup. However, life doesn't work out like that. So, how much credit can we give to Andre Ward? I mean, he did drag Dawson all the way down to 168 pounds, where he was clearly drained. I mean, if he couldn't take a punch from Andre Ward, that shows a lot. I mean, throughout the Super 6, he never had any of his opponents in half the amount of trouble that Dawson was in that fight. Now, that suggests either two things to me. Dawson is so overhyped and overrated. He's like a product of HBO and Showtime in America, that he cannot take a punch from anyone and would have been destroyed by the likes of Butte, destroyed by the likes of Froch, and destroyed by all of the other guys he's not fought at light heavyweight. And that being said, all those big punchers at light heavyweight will now be making a beeline for Dawson if that's the case. Or, like I said before, he was so drained going into this fight that his punch resistance was a total and utter mess. Personally, I believe that the weight issue was key here. I'm not saying Chad Dawson had a chance in this fight, as you listen to my prediction, I assume you know that I put a large amount of money on Andre Ward by unanimous decision. So I do actually feel cheated by the weight issue. I'm not going to lie to you. And that everyone could see it. Everyone can see this if you're a real fan. And then straight after the fight, what happened? HBO bitch boy Larry Merchant brushes it under the carpet. He was like, Chad, are you suggesting that the 160 lbs pounds issue was an issue regarding your strength? Well, no shit, Sherlock. Obviously, he had an impact on his strength and his punch resistance. Fuck my life. That guy should retire. He's been awful for years. So let's be honest now. Where did they both go from here? Starting with Bad Chad Dawson. I'm sorry, but there's only one place he can go, and that's 175 pounds. But the damage has already been done. People now look at him as a quitter, or they should do anyway. The same way they looked at Victor Ortiz as a quitter, but they don't see Dawson with a broken jaw. You know what I mean? He just got up and went, I don't want to fight no more. What a bitch! What a bitch! And not only that, he's damaged his body by making weight that impacted on his performance. Now, this is a scientific fact that you can look this up. His body performance is now lower than it was before the Hopkins fight. Newsflash, people. The way in the magazines they say you've got to be ripped, you've got to look great like that. It's not true. The human body does not like it. It does not react well when you drain it totally of all its body fat like Dawson did. Dawson was ripped to shreds. Andre Ward, you look at him, he's not ripped to shreds, is he? No, he's not. You look at all these guys who are totally ripped to shreds, and look at the VADA test that they're doing. Look at Andre Berto, ripped to shreds, failed the VADA test. His body performance is still high, isn't it? You look at it like that. Lamont Peterson, VADA test, failed it, ripped to shreds. His body performance was great because he was on steroids. And look at these other guys. Bad Chad Dawson, ripped to shreds. As far as I know, he's passed his test, and he's got absolutely no strength in right now. He's got no stamina. His punch resistance was all over the place, and this all because he went down in weight and because he was ripped out. Now, a lot of people right now saying, I don't believe what you're saying now, that's got nothing to do with it. Well, what happened to Roy Jones Jr. after the John Ruiz fight? He went down to light heavyweight from heavyweight, and he got his ass knocked out because he was draining himself now. Once you add the weight, when you take it off, you're draining yourself and your body does not react well to it. Your body does not like it when you take off all these extra pounds that you're not supposed to. Moving on to Andre Ward, that all the little rant being said, this guy's a very smart man. He's very talented. I've got to give him credit for that. He got the best light heavyweight to come down to his weight, and then he dominated him. Now I guarantee there's going to be a lot of stupid idiots, stupid individuals coming out here saying Andre Ward is the best 175-pound fighter without ever fighting at that weight, just because he beat a drained guy at 168 pounds. Now that's not the case. This fight, in the great scheme of things, doesn't mean anything. Chad Dawson was drained. I put that in my prediction. He's going to be drained, and I said I don't expect it to be a competitive fight, which it wasn't. Well, 8 out of 10 rounds. I said Andre Ward should win this by unanimous decision. However, I did not expect that his punch resistance would be so all over the place that he would get himself knocked out. Well, quit. So where does Andre Ward go from here? Well, it's going to be a very hard situation for him here, because the better he looks, it's going to be harder for him to get fights for a number of reasons, and the biggest reason being he doesn't give anything away. Obviously he made Dawson come down to 168 pounds, where he could have, let's be real, he could have got more credit for this fight if he fought it at a catch weight, around 170 pounds, 171, or light heavyweight, 175. That way he would have had double the credit, much more credit, at least anyway, you know what I'm saying? That being said as well, he also fought the fight in his hometown of Oakland. If you've already got this guy drained, why do you have to fight it in Oakland? Why can't you fight it wherever Dawson wants it to be fought? You understand? But okay, he's the champ, we put it in Oakland. If you're number one, yeah, and you're fighting where you want to fight, you're not giving anything away in terms of catch weight, weight restrictions, anything like that. It's going to be very hard, or you're going to have to be a very interesting individual to pull off regular fights. The only two people who can do this are Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao uses a lot of weight restrictions, he does. And Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't give anything away either. Now how come these guys get regular fights against whoever they want to fight against? It's because they well and truly compensate their opponents financially. Now I will be very surprised if Ward makes 10% of what Mayweather does. How much did Mayweather make in his last fight? 50 million. So do you think Ward made 5 million off this fight? I don't. Nope. No way. No way, no how. Is it a fact that these guys have been compensated? As realistically, the Wolves are really out now for Bad Chad Dawson. He's not going to have it easy. He's got to go up to 175 pounds, and he's got to fight someone decent. He's got to show that he can take a punch, because right now he was either totally drained and Andre Ward doesn't deserve the credit for it, or he's got zero punch resistance, and there's going to be guys like Tavares Cloud coming right up to him. He'll be thinking, right, I've got you, son. Even Tony Bellew, you got to look at Tony Bellew and think, that guy's a cruiserweight masquerading as a light heavyweight. He'll be able to take that. Will he be able to take a punch? Even Nathan Cleverly will be rubbing his hands together thinking, I've got you, son. Because even though he's not a big puncher, neither was Andre Ward. You got to realise that. Everyone's going, oh, no, don't be talking about Nathan Cleverly like that. But did anyone actually see Dawson getting knocked out by a non-puncher in Andre Ward? I didn't.